ever play with someone better than you and get so scared of messing up that you don't play your best? This is of course natural. You want to do well and you probably want to play with them again in the future. So in this video, we're going to give you 4 ways to not make a mess and instead impress.
Now, if you're already on court with someone better than you, then well done. That's one of the hardest parts. So on to how to not mess it up.
Well, tip 1 is to establish some tactics. These will not only help you understand where you should be moving and what shots to take, but they'll also ultimately help you win a lot more points. So we have 4 examples of tactics that you can try.
First is to hit a lot of your shots cross court, no matter if you're in an attacking or defensive formation. Let's explain this a little bit more. So if you're in a defensive formation and your opponents smash or drop it to you, then you should lift or drive cross court. Hitting cross reduces the likelihood of their next shot coming to you, as for most players it's easier to attack straight.
And if you're in an attacking formation and you as the weaker player are on balance and in a fairly good position at the back, then by hitting your attacking shot cross court or even to the middle, it's more likely your opponents will hit it to the other side. This therefore encourages rotation and your partner can come away from the net to get this straight shot and you can move forwards to the net. Just be careful that if your full cross-court shot isn't good, it will get you both into trouble.
So you've successfully done this rotation and you're now at the net. This brings us nicely onto our second tactical example. You need to go to the net more.
This is for a couple of reasons. One is that it's generally easier at the net because it's a lot harder for your opponents to keep hitting it here. This is because they'll either have to play a really tight net shot, meaning they're more likely to make a mistake, or they'll play a loose shot which you can kill.
And 2 is that your better partner can cover more of the court when you're in this formation. If they're a lot better than you, then they should probably be covering this entire area, but just make sure you've communicated this beforehand, otherwise this might happen.
Yeah, and this is our third tactic. You need to communicate effectively. So don't be afraid to also shout mine or yours to avoid these situations. And a bonus tip here is that when you're communicating before you step onto court, try to be positive. Too many people say things like sorry in advance, making themselves feel rubbish and making their partner feel more worried too. We think it's always good to share 1 or 2 areas you're not good at, followed by something you are good at. So for example, you might say you're not great at the back, but you're better at the net. So you'll leave them to take any rear court shots when there's a decision to be made.
Now, our 4th tactic is for when you're in a defensive side-by-side formation. You should let your better partner take most of the shots in the middle and you just cover around your body and tram line. People will still probably try and aim most of their attacking shots at you, but hopefully by also using tactic 1 of playing more cross-court shots, then you can limit how much this happens.
Okay, let's move on to our second tip, and this is to be curious. You might be curious why this is a tip, but we've got 3 practical pieces of advice for how this will help you play with someone better than you.
So advice 1 is to ask questions. You might think, I don't want to annoy them. But from our experience, most people will be happy to help. And they'll probably also like the fact that you're A, keen to learn, and B, keen to learn from them.
Yeah, this is something that neither of us have ever been afraid to do. And we've learnt so much by asking top players in the world a whole variety of questions. We've personally never had anyone not reply with anything. And if you don't ask, you don't get. Or you don't ask, you don't learn. But of course, don't be stopping the match or training session every 2 minutes with a new question. That would be annoying.
Yeah, you can also learn from observation though too. And this is our second piece of advice for how to be curious. If you're playing with, against, or even watching better people, you need to be thinking why they're playing certain shots and how they're playing certain shots.
Our third piece of advice is to be open to criticism. Even if you're not asking your partner questions, they might tell you where you're going wrong anyway. Hopefully they're doing this in a nice way, and you can see it as a learning opportunity with them trying to help you improve.
Speaking of criticism, from our experience, this can lead to people trying too hard, which can cause a whole variety of problems with your game. 1, it's known that trying too hard can cause muscular tension. In badminton, this means your shoulders will tense up, which ruins your swing fluidity and speed. and this therefore ruins your shot quality and consistency. Think of it like trying to hit a cricket ball with tense arms versus relaxed arms.
Now, the second problem of trying too hard is that it causes you to overthink every movement and shot. And this means you actually make poorer decisions and also make more mistakes. Sometimes in these situations, you just need to think over and in. After all, the person you're playing with will benefit a lot more from this than picking up the shuttle every 5 seconds.
Yeah, so what we'd recommend is focusing on doing the basics well, like the serve and return of serve. This will at least get you into the rally and give your better partner some more confidence in you.
Okay, let's move on to our fourth tip, which is to have some perspective. Now, if you're trying your best, and not too hard, but you can still tell it's just not working, don't be afraid to admit that you're not good enough and you're ruining the practice or match for everyone else.
Yeah, if there's someone that can take your place, then maybe offer to swap with them. This can be tough to do, but you'll get the respect from others that you're not delusional and that you value their time.
There are 2 important points with this though. First is that you shouldn't do this if you aren't actually ruining the session and you just think you are, which definitely happens. And second is that you need to use this as motivation to get better and don't let it get you down.
Yeah, playing with people better than you is one of the best ways to improve, so you have to see it as a challenge and make the most of it. Remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you.
And it will be so satisfying when you come back to this group later down the line and you've improved. So, to help you do that, you might want to check out our doubles playlist, which we'll link here for you. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you smash the subscribe button and we'll hopefully see you on another video very soon. Bye!